Hey, what's up, guys? Arena here. Today, we're going to be talking about the Antiquities set, and I'm going to give you guys some speculation on the top 10 most undervalued cards for the set. So, thank you guys for being here. Hopefully, you guys will see the way that I'm going to formulate why I believe these cards are actually undervalued, and I'll give you speculation on what they should be or what they probably will be in the future. So, let's begin. Alright, the first one up is actually Astons Altar. It's used in so many combo decks. It's sitting around $25 a card. It's an uncommon from Antiquities. It's sitting around $25. I can see this going to $40 or $50. The latest reprint was actually in Eternal Masters, but that won't really affect the price at all, just because it's the first print of the card. It's so notorious from the set, and it's used in a lot of decks, so therefore there's going to be a lot of demand. The rarity is there. No one's going to be cracking open more Antiquity packs because they're so expensive. So that's number 10 on the list. Alright, the second one is actually Ornithopter, which is kind of weird because it's like so cheap and like it's not used in a lot of decks really, unless if it's Artifact. The latest reprinting wasn't Mirrodin. It's a common. It's in around $4 for near mint, but to be honest with you, it's ran in a lot of historic decks. Historic is like, I believe, sagas, legendaries, and artifacts, which, of course, artifact is the key point there. There's a lot of artifact decks in Commander right now, and you could even use this in other decks as well, like Standard, Vintage, Legacy, I don't know which one. But regardless, it's essential for any combo artifact deck, and I can see this sitting around $10 to $15 for near mint copies. So be on the lookout. It's sitting around $4 right now, but that's just how it is. Number 3 on the list, Mishra's Factory Winter Edition. It's a rare. So here's the thing with this price. It is the most expensive version, but because the art is so nice. So many people want this in their collection. I'm reading off a script I made so I can remind myself. It's like the culmination of Antiquities as a set. Like, it's just beautiful art. It's notorious. Like, everyone knows this art. It's so beautiful. I believe the most expensive one right now for near mint is, $380, which is quite expensive. Don't get me wrong. Like, the other versions, the cheapest version is actually $32, just to put that in perspective. The second most is $76. The other one's $87. So that just shows you the price point where this is just so high. But, dude, there's not many left out in the world right now just for sale. Like, people love this card. They do not want to get rid of it just because it's so beautiful. I can see this easily within a year sitting around $500 to $600. Just easy. All right, the next one, Reconstruction. This was printed without the expansion symbol by accident, to my knowledge. It's a common. It's a good card that just returns an artifact into play, which can synergize with vintage cards such as Black Lotus. Not that you would probably want to run that in a vintage deck, but you can to maximize its value. So it's just good. Antiquities is basically known for the artifact deck, essentially. So it's not even $1 right now for near mint. Like, I can see this being gobbled up to $5 to $10, guaranteed. It's just a great card. The last printing was in Revised, and there hasn't been a reprinting since, so that should tell you something. Alright, the next one is our first reserve list, and the remainder of this is probably going to be reserve list, except for like one or two, is Sushi. It's not going to be reprinted again. It's an uncommon. It's a solid card, but it's not that great. It's like a bigger Cathodian, that was just like printed in Double Masters. Whenever it dies, you add 4 colorless. It's alright. It's a signature card from Antiquities. It's used in combo decks just whenever it dies. It's just good in general. You pay 4 mana to get a 4/4 body. Whenever it dies, you can possibly utilize its ability of whenever it dies, you get 4 colorless mana on someone else's turn or on your own turn to try and just get some tempo or some ramp, So the price right now for near mint is $66. Solid near mint, $100 guaranteed within the next year, probably, as long as nothing bad happens. All right, the next one up is actually Sentinel Druid. This got targeted recently. I believe the price point is around $10 right now for near mint. It's super good in Commander, like really good. Like, the more opponents you have, the more you can utilize its ability for running ramp artifacts and etc. It's not really ran in a lot of decks. That's the problem. That's why the price is so low. No one's really running this card. And, like, it's okay, but I feel like it should be a little bit more expensive. I can see us hitting $20 to $30. All right, the next one is Golgothian Sylx. This is one of. I'll just read whatever I wrote for it. This was targeting a buyout thanks to the Rudy effect, by the way. The Rudy effect is whenever he mentions anything on YouTube and the price just spikes immensely if he says that this card is undervalued or that he believes that it's just a good card in general. It's happened so many times. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, but it's a super niche but trash can card. Like, it's so bad, but that's the culmination of these old era cards, guys. Like, a lot of these cards were not that good. I had to go through the whole Antiquity set to like find some decent cards, but sometimes you just have to stick with the notorious ones that people already know about. It's reserve list, it's rare, so it's kind of hard to get. The price right now is sitting at $40 for near mint. It's probably gonna go down a little bit, but I believe over time I can see this hitting $50 to $75 just because it's the way that it is. Like, it's just not good, but that's what makes it so great. I wouldn't suggest getting it, but I'm just saying, people, if they want to have a master set, this is like a cornerstone of it. So probably get some of the other cards I listed first and do that. All right, next one up is another one that people already know about with targeting buyouts, and that is Transmute Artifact. This is so notorious, dude. Everyone had speculated on this for decades. It's crazy. The price point right now is $275 near mint, which is pretty high because throughout history, everyone speculated like, man, this is gonna be worth something. So now that it is, it's reserveless, it's rare. It's an artifact tutor, and it's not bad in artifact deck. Like, you can run one copy of this in Commander, and you'll be totally fine. Not that you necessarily need it, but you can use it. Personally, I think I like Tinker more. I think Tinker's a better card, but that's just my opinion. The price is so high, but people continue to buy this card just because that's what it's known for in Antiquities. There's no other printing of this. It's reserveless. People aren't gonna stop buying this. I can see this hitting 300 to 350 on the high end, but most likely 300 within the next year. But we'll just have to wait and see. All right, the next one up, I believe, is second to last, is Felens Kane. I've actually ran out of ideas for good cards in Antiquities just because all the other ones are like super overpriced, and I'm just trying to find you guys good valued cards that should be worth more. And it's not a bad card, Felens Kane. It's an uncommon. It's not reserveless. It's decent in a recursion or graveyard deck in Commander. It doesn't even have to be Commander. You can just use it to say like, nope, you are not going to exile or remove my graveyard from play. So you can just be like, no. Other than that, it's okay. It's an uncommon. The latest reprint of this was in 5th edition, which is that's a long ass time ago. The price point right now is around $8. I can see this going to $20 to $25 for near mint. Like a super solid near mint copy. Just going to $20. It's not a bad card. It's notorious. There's not that many printings, so that's just my take on it. All right, the last one. It's not really the best one, but it's a card nonetheless. Sage of Lutnum. It's okay. It's not a bad inclusion for an artifact deck. I noticed Antiquities is all about artifacts. Like, everything is an artifact. It's crazy. If you need card draw, you can sacrifice one of your cards, which can even be the Ornithopter that I mentioned earlier. So you can just have the full circle. You pay 0 mana for a 0/2 artifact that has flying, or you can buff it that way. Or you can sacrifice it if you need more card draw for an answer. You can do whatever you want. It's a 2 mana 1/2. You sacrifice an artifact to draw a card. Not bad at all. It's sitting around $1 a card. Should be worth way more. It's not reserve list. The last printing was actually in Dominaria, which is kind of crazy that they would do something like that, but it's Wizards. They'll reprint anything if it's not reserve list. But I believe since it's Antiquities, it should be worth more than $1. Let's be real. I can see this going $5 to $10 in the future. not like super fast unless if people buy it out, but a 2-mana 1/2 sacrifice an artifact, draw a card is not bad at all, especially since you can just keep on doing it every turn. On your turn upkeep, my bad, not on other people's turn, but I can see this going to $5 or $10. So thank you guys for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys will heed my advice. Maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't, but I'm just going through every set to give you guys an idea about what I believe will go up over time, which history proves that I'm mostly right. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys had a good day. Be sure to like and comment, do that YouTube stuff, click that bell for notifications, and thank you guys for being here. Peace.